Hello, everybody. My name is Billy Alaka, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the greatest urban myth there ever was. And the myth is basically Gerber Food, which is an American-based company, a food company that decided to sell food in the African market. Unfortunately, this was a biggest mistake because Java food have this misconception and the idea that they can use the same U.S. packaging label as people in Africa. Unfortunately, this backfired based on their assumption because it's all the way around in Africa. The actual content is what's labeled because most people cannot read. So unfortunately, when they got this new food with a Caucasian baby smiling and on the package, they actually thought the content is a baby in the package.
Hello Herman, can I explain any international marketing concepts?
Professor Siegfried, have you any examples of international marketing blunders?
Well Herman, cultural blunders are numerous and common occurrence in international marketing. Here is a classic example to illustrate my point. Gerber Products Company is a purveyor of baby food and baby products. A former American-owned company, Gerber is now a subsidiary of Nestle Group. When Gerber commenced selling baby food in Africa, they used the same packaging as in the US, with the beautiful Caucasian baby on the label. Later they learned that in Africa, companies routinely put pictures on the label of what's inside, since most people can't read.
Thanks Professor, for this great example of an international marketing blunder.
Well, what are my conclusion to this? My conclusion, obviously, it was a terrible marketing idea or strategy, if you ask me, by Gerber Foods, assuming that everybody spoke English and everybody go by the same labeling techniques. Um, and I guess you have Africans to blame as well, unfortunately, because of the majority of the literate that they could not read and they just go off the content of a package. And that's pretty much my conclusion in this case. Well, how can I vouch for the sources and know the content of this myth is credible? I did several researches, as you will see at the end of this video, that I actually cited some of the researches and sources that I got my information from. And one of the site that I got my information from, they actually label this particular case as one of the biggest mistake international market from a U.S. company. So there are several sources that backed this myth as in fact that it was true, that it did happen. They're trying to use the same labeling as a U.S. labeling to convey African consumers to actually buy what they thought they were labeling as a baby food, and Africans actually thought the baby food was actually an actual baby that was ground up um, in the food as in process. Well, actually, there were actually few researches and details regarding this story. Unfortunately, I would think you would get more publicity or things will be magnified due to the giant um, Gerber is as far as a food company. And again, if you really think about it, this actually took place over 40, 50 years ago. So an amount of credibility and an amount of information back then is not as much as it is now as far as getting the information out. And but there were a few information that I gathered up, as you can see, that support this myth supposedly. Well, one of the few surprises to me doing this research is finding out how most uh, global companies, or would I say, giant Fortune 500 company, or even 100 company, will make such a mistake like that internationally, and when it comes to marketing, that tells you, you know, they out of touch. Unfortunately, they didn't know how the country or the continent, for that matter, that they're going to be selling all these goods. It's like, or what the population like, and then the educational system. That ought to tell you one thing and one thing only, that most of these companies, they just want your money. They want to sell goods to you, and they can care less if you know how to write your first name. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Mythbuster. Unfortunately, I could not debunk it, but prove in so many ways that this, in fact, was a true story.